Well, when the Sooner Schooner hits the field here in Norman, you know it's about to go down. Welcome to college football here on Fox as the third-ranked Oklahoma Sooners take on the Iowa State Cyclones. Partner, Ben Lieber, and partner, let me tell you something. Oklahoma's red hot. They've got the nation's longest win streak. They have just dominated this series with Iowa State. And for the Cyclones, they're looking for the first conference win.
Yeah, they really are, and they're coming to a place that they don't win very much here in Norman, going against one of the best offenses, if not the very best offense in all the nation.
And, of course, the Sooners, they are led by their two-time Heisman finalist quarterback, Baker Mayfield. He can sling it. He leads the Big 12 and the country in just about every passing statistical category.
Well, it's hard to believe that he was up for the Heisman last year. He's actually having a better year this year, numbers-wise. You know, a lot of people know him around the nation as a big personality, fiery personality, passion, but let that not overshadow his immense talent. He's got a strong arm. You can see him throw the ball 60 yards down the field. He can get outside the pocket, but really where he is so great is getting outside the pocket and throwing with accuracy to his receivers. Phenomenal talent.
Now, the Cyclones will be without their starting quarterback, Jacob Park. In fact, he didn't even make the trip for this game. The Iowa State Cyclones released a statement late last night basically saying that Park has taken a leave of absence from the team to work through what they call some personal health issues. This is huge considering he's their career completion percentage leader with throwing for nearly 300 yards a game.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate because he was having a great season up until that Texas game where he struggled a little bit, but a passer that can get it down the field. He has great receivers on the outside, and you're going to see this guy, Kyle Kempf, a redshirt senior, a walk-on this football team. He's got a nice arm, not a big arm, but really knows this offense, and the coaches have a lot of confidence in him.
Let's go down to the field to the third member of our broadcast team. Here's Jen Hale. Hello, Jen.
Well, hi there, Brian. I had a chance to speak with Iowa State coach Matt Campbell, and he told me he's known about Jacob Park's leave of absence since the beginning of this week, even though it wasn't publicly announced until last night. That has given him plenty of time to prepare backup Kyle Kempf. Therefore, the Cyclones will not be paring down the playbook today. Campbell came down today to personally warm Kempf up during pregame warm-ups. His parting words of wisdom: don't try to win this game yourself. Trust your teammates and your playmakers. Now, we may very well also see former starting quarterback, now starting middle linebacker Joel Lanning step in today. Of course, the Cyclones are going to need him on defense, Brian, so he'll be playing both sides of the ball today. Tough challenge.
Oh, who are you kidding? How about that? If we see Joel Lanning as well, that's old school.
Oh, he
plays both ways.
He has stepped up on defense. I mean, we'll get into him throughout this game, but what a talent to be a quarterback, turn defense, and be one of the defensive leaders already just a few games into this season. But I wouldn't put it past him to put him back at quarterback for these seasons.
Chris Jones will kick things off. Cyclones won the toss. They opted to defer. This is Jeff Badette. Spins off. Brings it back close to the 20. That's where the Sooners will take over. And we talk about what to watch for, what Baker Mayfield and those Sooners have the football.
Well, he has a lot of weapons, 3 good running backs, a bunch of receivers, but I really want to see Mark Andrews take over this game. Last year they had success with their tight ends and their fullbacks and Dimitri Flowers getting out of the backfield, so look for Mark Andrews to have a big day today. For Iowa State, we just talked about Joel Lanning, the former quarterback, now turned middle linebacker. He has been so productive, 20 tackles last week against Texas. He's starting to figure it out. He's getting better each and every game.
Abdul Adams, Dimitri Flowers in the backfield with Mayfield. Right up the gut. It's Adams, and he's across midfield. It's Cyclone territory. Kamari Cotton Moya with the stop.
Well, just watch 42 here. He's going to get blocked and open up that seam for the Oklahoma run game. People forget this is a high explosive offense down the field, but they know how to run the football and they can run power football.
34 yards. Mayfield, first pass complete. And Flowers. And another first down. This is a team that basically averages a first down every play. They average 9 yards a play.
Well, and it was Flowers last year that got the start because of injuries at running back. He had a phenomenal day, sort of his breakout game with the Sooners, getting an early start with this game.
And it's Adams again. And a pickup of about 4. Joel Adams. Lanning with the stop. We take a look at Baker Mayfield. Look at his record, what he's done here in OU, 26-4. In fact, he's thrown a TD pass in 30 straight games. That's a school record.
Well, and already this season, no interceptions. We talk about he's sort of a risk taker, a little bit of a gunslinger, which means he's going to throw into tight coverage. He's done such a good job. His receivers have stepped up. 0 turnovers for Baker Mayfield this season.
Mayfield's going to throw it here. Up top, and it's complete. CeeDee Lamb. DeAndre Payne with the tackle.
Now here's a 4-star recruit you're going to see at the top of your screen running an out route. They didn't know. They lost a lot of talent last year in the receiver group. They didn't know who was going to step up this year, and CeeDee Lamb has come out of nowhere to Richmond, Texas, has really taken over the outside unit.
Mayfield. And he's got him there wide open. Trey Sermon. Touchdown, Sooners. The freshman out of Marietta, Georgia.
Again, this is where they tapped last year against Iowa State. Another true freshman, Trey Sermon, lines up in the backfield, and you're asking your linebackers, especially Joel Lanning and some of these guys that are inexperienced at the linebacker position, to now read your keys and cover these running backs, fast running backs out of the backfield. They couldn't get it done on that pass.
Austin Seibert, the junior, kicks through the extra point, and the Sooners on their first offensive possession go right down the field and score. 5 plays, 81 yards. They did in 2 minutes and 25 seconds. Sooners 7, Iowa State nothing. First offensive series for the Sooners. They go down 81 yards. They do it in 5 plays. Trey Sermon caps it off with that 23-yard TD catch. Freshman out of Georgia had 2 TDs a couple of weeks ago against Baylor.
Well, it's such an interesting strategy. As Iowa State did win the toss, they deferred to the second half. They'll get the ball, and they wanted to give the ball to the #1 ranked offense in the country first when you're on the road with a 3rd-string quarterback.
Landon Akers back deep for the Cyclones. So now the Cyclones will get their first offensive possession. Kyle Kempf leading the charge. Let's talk about what to watch for.
Well, they do have a lot of weapons on offense. I imagine they're going to run the ball a lot with David Montgomery. Alan Lazard on the outside is a guy that can really go up and get it. But Hakeem Butler has been so good on 3rd down, and I imagine they're going to have a lot of 3rd down opportunities with Kyle Kempf in the game. And then defensively, Obadiah Okoronkwo is one of the very best pass rushers in the nation. Really came on last year, made a name for himself. He should shine today.
Kyle Kempf getting the start. First carry goes to David Montgomery. Montgomery picks up a couple over that right side. Kenneth Murray with the stop, and for Kempf, redshirt senior, and basically a walk-on, getting his first start. Played 1 game so far this season with 2 for 2, 15 yards. Another handoff. Montgomery again powers his way across the 30. DJ Ward wraps him up.
In Oklahoma, right off the bat, defensively, they go man coverage on the outside. They get another safety in the box with just a deep safety. They also understand the game situation with a 3rd-string quarterback. They want to get the ball running on offense, so why not pack another safety in the box, challenge the outside receivers, and see if you can stop the run.
Cyclones facing their first 3rd down, 3rd and 4. They go 4 wide for Kempf. Looks left. Throw, Paul. In and out of the hands of Hakeem Butler. What a hit. Jordan Thomas laying the lick.
What they do a lot Oklahoma, you see the safety drop out in the middle. They go cover 3, which puts that defender, the flat defender, sitting out there waiting for any sort of potential out route. And you see Jordan Thomas, who needs to have a good bounce-back game from a shaky game against Baylor. You see him sitting out in the flat in that cover 3 look, ready to pounce on anything out to the edge.
Colin Dowling in to do the punting for the Cyclones. CeeDee Lamb back deep. Lamb breaks a tackle. He reverses field. Probably one of the most exciting 4-yard runs you'll see. Well, Baker Mayfield and that high-octane Oklahoma offense will get the ball again. They're up 7 here in the first quarter. Welcome back to Norman. Oklahoma up early here in the first quarter. 1st and 10 for the Sooners. Mayfield from the gun. Adams. Upended. Crosses the 30. Reggie Wilkerson.
That's the one thing you're going to see with Iowa State's defense is their secondary and corners. They really fill in the run game, have a great understanding. They play a lot of zone, so that means their eyes are in the backfield a lot of the times. They know how to trigger and come up and make some big hits.
OU will go empty. 5 wide. Mayfield over the middle. That one's complete. That's Abdul Adams. Let's take a look at the today's keys to the game. It's sponsored by Ford.
Well, for Iowa State, now that we've mentioned that they're on their 3rd-string quarterback in Kyle Kempf, I imagine they're going to run the ball a lot with Montgomery. David only had 9 carries in the last game. They really want to emphasize getting him the ball more. And for Oklahoma, we already saw it on the first drive. Utilizing your backs and tight ends out of the backfield in the passing game, finding those mismatches all day long. You saw it already evident in the first drive.
Trey Sermon in the backfield. Mayfield from the pistol. That's Sermon. Brought down close to the 40. Joel Lanning with the tackle, and Lanning, an interesting story. He was the starting quarterback at one point for Iowa State last year, and then made the conversion to linebacker.
Well, I remember talking to Matt Campbell, the head coach, last year when we were doing an Iowa State game, and he was talking about Joel and his attributes and his characteristics. And he said, he's a former high school wrestler. He just has that mentality where he's gritty, he's tough, he has that, and he really shows that as a quarterback running the ball, but they never really thought about that as him as a linebacker. And he comes out this year, he told the coach, hey, I want to keep playing. I understand that Jacob Park's taking my job, but my senior year I want to go out and play and be productive and contribute. And he has had a phenomenal start as a linebacker who's never played, largely in part because he doesn't mind getting dirty. He'll go down and hit some people.
At 20 tackles last week against Texas. Another first down. Mayfield surveying the field. Flushed out of the pocket. He rolls right. He's going to keep it and run out of bounds. The interesting thing about Lanning is we may see him play some quarterback as well at some point today. But who can you say that a guy right now in college football who's thrown for 3 touchdowns in a game, he's run for 5 touchdowns at one point in a game, and made 20 tackles in the game?
There isn't one. I mean, that's why it's just an incredible story. When we were talking to Matt Campbell again, I said, there's not really a word or an adjective that can really describe what he's done. He's like, no, you're right. There's just not. He's like, I've never seen it. I've never seen a guy that, can take this task and go full force and attack it with the focus that he has. And he wants to be a great linebacker now. And we've already heard in this young season, and especially in his young career as just a linebacker, that there are NFL scouts now looking at Joel Lanning as a potential late-round draft pick just because of how quickly he's developed as a linebacker. He's got a high ceiling. His body doesn't have any wear and tear on it. So he's a fresh guy that understands how to play football, and he's doing it at a high level.
Sooners looking at 3rd down for only the 2nd time here. The 37th time this season they faced a 3rd down. Only Miami has had fewer 3rd down attempts than OU. Mayfield, all the time in the world. And he's going to keep it. Picks up a block and brought down at the 15 by DeAndre Payne. And that's what makes Baker Mayfield so dangerous.
Well, it's what makes him so dangerous, but, you know, my heart breaks for the Iowa State defense because they're doing everything correct. They have the right play calls. They're playing that zone. They understand that they're putting a defender out in the flat. That's 2 times now in this drive where Baker's first primary receiver is the back out of the backfield. He has to look off, and when he does that, all of a sudden now he can't assess the field. There's defenders everywhere. The reads are cloudy for him, but they just can't get enough contain on him to get him down.
Rodney Anderson in the backfield. That's a quick out. CeeDee Lamb breaks the tackle. Lamb dives for the byline. And they call it touchdown, OU.
You'll see on the outside, watch number 42. That's Marcel Spears. He has to be vice in that tackle and stay inside. You can't let the ball carrier cut back across your face. He does that, and then you see the athleticism, the agility from CeeDee Lamb to take it in for a touchdown. Well, what a fun way to describe somebody when he says he has the combination of grace and grit. And that's not something that you want to give on a receiver. Not many guys get that sort of description as a receiver. He's so fast, he's so athletic, but yet he'll run across the middle. He's not afraid to make some tough catches.
They're checking out his shoulder right now. It's his 14th catch of the season for the freshman. OU have gone 2-2 on their offensive possession. They're up 14-0. Baker Mayfield continues to rack up the records. He has now thrown 2 touchdown passes in 18 straight games. That breaks Sam Bradford's record of 17. He did it back in 2008-09. Heisman Trophy winner.
Well, and a large part of that drive was just him using his legs and guys just making plays for him.
Second offensive series now for the Cyclones. Kyle Kempf. Montgomery offset right in the backfield. The fake to Montgomery. Pass is complete. Alan Lazard, now they say incomplete.
I tell you what, had he held on to that ball just 1 extra second, he would have had a receiver on the outside, up the middle of the field, all by himself. You'll see the corner break right there. The ball come out, but a pump fake, go over the top. You've got yourself a big play for Iowa State.
Kent swings it out. Montgomery, he's got a first down and a whole lot more. Cross it, field cuts back. Montgomery still running. Finally chased out of bounds at the 30.
Well, you always need blocking on the outside. There's the right guard, Josh Kniffel. Just watch him go down the field, track the defender, get the key block right there, and then from there on out, it's Montgomery using his talents, his agility to break some tackles, his vision. Big time play for Iowa State.
46 yards. How about this? Joel Lanning now in at quarterback. Was a starter at one point last season, and that pass complete. Deshaunte Jones picks up a couple. We look at Lanning's career numbers. Thrown for over 2,500 yards. 15 rushing touchdowns. He takes control. Mike Warren in the backfield alongside of it. Lanning keeping it over the right side. Brought down at the 21.
And you saw those 15 rushing touchdowns. That's why it makes sense to bring him into the game as they're knocking on the door in the red zone. Expect a lot more quarterback run game. Again, another area of success, especially on the perimeter that they had against Oklahoma's defense in last year's game. So a lot of the same things are starting to show up with success.
3rd and 3. Sam Buckner. Lanning falls for right at the first down mark. Let's see where they spot him. Looks like it's just shy.
But what a nice drive and a good answer for Iowa State's offense. Let's see if they can get 3 points on the board here.
This field goal attempt will be from 25 yards out. This is Garrett Owens. 4 or 5 on the season thus far. Kicks that one through. Cyclones get on the board. 14-3. Score here with 1:20 left in the first quarter.
I think that was a big-time confidence-building drive for Iowa State's offense, knowing that you can bring in your starting linebacker and have some successful plays with the offense.
Well, they went 67 yards, did it in 11 plays. 4 minutes and 29 seconds, thanks. Joel Lanning. As Francis kicked things away. Jeff Badette back deep for the Sooners. This is Badette from his own 5. Across the 20. Brought down at the 24s. 1st and 10 for Mayfield and the Sooners. Play fake. Chased out of the pocket to get his Mayfield. That throw was incomplete. He was looking for Trey Sermon.
Well, that time the rush finally got to Mayfield early. And Baker had to come off all of his reads and try to make a play. But once again, that's the thing on the back end for Iowa State's defense. The play is never over. And I can tell you from a former defensive player how challenging that is to not only get to your drop or cover your guy for those 3, 4, 5 seconds, but then all of a sudden it turns into 7, 8 seconds. Awfully tough coverage with a running quarterback.
Here's Sermon. Complete flip. Mayfield. Pass is complete. That's it, Marquise Brown and the Sooners. Up 14-3 here at the end of the first quarter. Fox College Football will continue from here in Norman right after these messages. 14-3 as we begin this second quarter. You take a look at the first quarter stats, been dominated by OU.
And they're right on par with their season average of around 9 yards per play, which is just hard to even believe.
Fake, the throw, and how about this? Dimitri Flowers. Mayfield. Through to Jeffrey Mead. Mead throws it to Flowers.
Well, you'll see Flowers 36 lined up as sort of in that D area as a tight end off the ball. And again, had such a productive game last year against Iowa State, catching the ball in the backfield. But does Lincoln Riley really need a flea flicker and then a double pass right now to get the ball down the field?
Read option Sermon, right side, cuts back. He's inside the 30. Let's go down the sidelines. Here's Jen.
Well, Brian, this Sooners offense is now without 2 of its weapons, at least temporarily. Wide receiver C.D. Lamb is sitting with his head in his hands, towel over his head, ice on his left shoulder, obviously in a lot of discomfort. Athletic trainers have taken his helmet and pads. Meanwhile, sophomore running back Abdul Adams has that right ankle iced down. We'll keep you posted on whether it looks like either one will be able to return today.
Okay, Jen, thank you. Lamb, of course, scored that second touchdown and made it 14. First touchdown there. Mayfield keeps it. How about that? Showing off the hops. He's run out of bounds. At the 13 by DeMonte Ruth.
Isn't he just entertaining the quick pump to the left that sets up the hole on the right side, and then watch the jump at the end and the little celebration.
15-yard pickup by Baker Mayfield.
Well, he brings an energy and a passion to every single play.
He is alone, has accounted for 128 yards of offense for the Sooners thus far. Trey Sermon in the backfield. Fake the Sermon. He's got all day to throw. Over the middle and incomplete. Off the hands of Marquise Brown.
Well, you said it. That offensive line, anchored by Orlando Brown on the left side, is the reason why Baker has so much time. He can be so productive. It's such a big play offense that they can get the ball down the field on a regular basis. That was like 10 seconds that he had to throw.
My goodness. Orlando Brown and Ben Powers, Eric Wynn and Bobby Evans, all of these guys just getting it done up front. 2nd and 10 now. This is Sermon. Inside the 10-yard line, brought down at the 8. Everett Edwards making the tackle for the Cyclones.
So with Abdul Adams being out, as Jen said, it's icing his ankle. You're going to see a lot more of Trey Sermon, and you're not going to miss a beat. He played. He didn't play in the first 3 quarters of the Baylor game 2 weeks ago. Comes in the 4th quarter and runs for 148 and 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns. Coming into today, all 4 of his touchdowns that came in the 4th quarter until today. It's Mayfield looking for Andrews. Oh! Knocked away by Kamari Cotton-Moya.
And one of the big-time leaders for Iowa State's defense, Cotton-Moya, seems like he's been at Iowa State for about 7 or 8 years, but does such a nice job of being patient. He has Andrews in coverage, but he doesn't flinch. He doesn't jump on the coverage. He waits for him to make that break, and then he breaks with him and does a good job getting his upfield hand in there to knock the ball away.
Here comes Austin Seibert. The field goal attempt. This one will be from 26 yards out. Good. 14-point lead for the Sooners. Beautiful campus here in Norman, Oklahoma. 3rd-rate Sooners up 14. 17-3 the score here early in the 2nd quarter. Sooners just went 69 yards, did 11 plays. Get the field goal. Seibert can kick it away. Watches it, goes to the back of the end zone. Kyle Kempf, no Cyclones. Back at it. David Montgomery. Offset left. Trevor Ryan in the slot. This is Montgomery. Shakes a man. Has a 1st down and more. Beal with the tackle.
We talked about his athleticism. Watch the outside linebacker there and Caleb Kelly. He's ultimately responsible for contain. You got to attack the upfield shoulder, not the inside shoulder. You see him sidestep for a big gain.
Montgomery again. Keys Overton. To stop.
And that's the thing on 1st down. If Oklahoma's going to play man up on the outside and bring another man in the box, you have to win those one-on-one tackle matchups as a running back. And Montgomery, especially talking to Mike Stoops, D coordinator of Oklahoma, he's like, we have the utmost respect for him. He is a phenomenal talent. He can make guys miss, and he just did there on the young sophomore Caleb Kelly.
Kemp looking left. That pass complete. Matthew Eaton.
And that's what Iowa State needs to see as we see Joel Lanning come back in at quarterback.
They're 1 for 4 so far on 3rd down. Here comes Big Joel Lanning. Expect to take him and take it, keep it himself. Swings it out to Montgomery. He bounces off some guy, cuts back, field, cross midfield, Montgomery. Dragged down at the 31-yard line by Kenneth Murray.
Well, just when I was thinking in my mind, stop dancing around, get upfield, all you need is half a yard. And Montgomery just does what he does. You'll see a nice block by the quarterback and linebacker Joel Lanning there to really spring him for another big gain. They knew they were going to have to come into this game leaning on David Montgomery as you see him go out in motion in a little swing bubble. And then from there, it's just a nifty footwork and landing with the block.
24-yard pickup. Montgomery checks back into the game. He's run it 5 times for 19 yards. He's made 3 catches for 73. This is Kemp, keeps it. Pays the price by being.
That's one of those keep you honest type of plays going against the defense. Kemp not known to be a runner, much more of a pocket passer. But when you're going to run this little read play, there are times where, yes, you have to pull the ball down as a quarterback just to keep that backside edge defender honest.
Second and 10. Kemp looking right, throws for the end zone. Incomplete. He's looking for Hakeem Butler, but we got a flag.
Going to get Chance Sylvie on a defensive pass interference.
Pass interference, defense, number 28, automatic first down.
So it was on Chance Sylvie, the sophomore out of Shreveport.
You'll see him right there, sort of with the grab to really slow down Hakeem Butler, going for the corner of the end zone. And that was a well-placed ball with air and timing again from Kyle Kempf. So if you don't pass interfere there, big chance that you're going to have a touchdown.
Kyle Kemp, Montgomery. This is Montgomery. Left side, powers his way into the end zone. The Cyclones are on the board again.
Boy, and if there's not a path into the end zone, just go ahead and make your own. He runs right into the back of Caleb Kelly on the cutback and just bowls his way into the end zone.
5th touchdown of the season. With David Montgomery, Garrett Owens will come in for the extra point. Well, David Montgomery, you said you're going to get a heavy dose of it, and so far we've seen it, and he has delivered. The Cyclones now down 7, the 3rd-ranked Oklahoma. Here in Norman, and the Cyclones are running with momentum right now. They score their first touchdown of the afternoon thanks to Mr. Montgomery. Go 10 plays, 75 yards. Montgomery already 10 touches, 93 yards and a touchdown. He's slipped 15 tackles already.
You talk about that big 3rd down conversion. Who threw the block on that? Joel Lanning.
Mayfield, the Sooners are starting the pistol. Mayfield looks left. That's complete over the middle. The deck. Midfield. 45. Dropped at the 42. Monte Ruth delivered the lick.
It's always a scary proposition when you see Badette in the open field. The transfer from Kentucky is ultra fast. Can get up the field quickly and just misses his footing there on a wet field as we had some rain overnight here in Norman, Oklahoma. So that is a wet, soggy field, and you saw Badette sort of lose his footing on that cutback.
First and 10. 19-yard pickup by Badette. Mayfield. Brown. Basically at the line of scrimmage. Reggie Wilkerson with the stop.
You don't see that very often. Sort of a reverse pirouette there for Baker Mayfield on the play fake front side. Spins all the way around to throw that little slip screen.
This is 2nd and 7. The fake, and Flowers wide open over the middle. 25. Powers his way to the 15. "24 yards, pitch and catch."
There he is again. Dimitri Flowers playing that sort of H-back, fullback tight end with the fake block down, and he's wide open in the middle of the field. They disguise that route so very well with both he and Mark Andrews. You always have to be aware of it as a linebacker and as a strong safety that those guys can leak out.
This is Sermon. Picks up a couple. Marcel Spears once again.
So impressed by Trey Sermon, the true freshman running back, that he can come in as a freshman, as a young man, and run with the power that he runs with. He's already 220 pounds on a 6-foot frame, so he still has some growth and maturing to do, which is scary when you already see him running and carrying tacklers as a young 18-year-old.
2nd and 7. That's Andrews in the slot, top of your screen. Mayfield. He's going to keep it. First down. And tiptoes into the end zone. Baker Mayfield. Hey, Ben Lieber, I'm dating myself. That was the old Flintstones move with the tiptoe into the end zone, wasn't it?
It was. But, you know, when these guys they have a scrambling quarterback that's going to buy some time. Watch at the top right of your screen. That's Mark Andrews, who went out in the route. You now have to be aware and become a blocker in those situations. But look at the yabba-dabba-doo move on the outside.
Oh, my God. Oh, man, Baker Mayfield is cybered now for the extra point. Kick is up and good. Baker Mayfield this time getting it done with his feet from 13 yards out. Look at the shake. And then the twinkle toes as he scores. OU up 24-10. Baker Mayfield with the touchdown run. This guy now is the 5th consecutive game for him. He's had 3 or more touchdowns. He's accounted for those for Baker Mayfield. It just continues to rewrite the record books here at OU. Austin Seibert kicked things away for the Sooners. Landon Akers back at his own goal line. Iowa State. Sooners have scored every time they've had the football. Out of them.
I think they've played very well. I mean, they've stuck to the game plan about getting Montgomery more involved. You see, they've lined up. They're going to stay aggressive and not take a knee and try to get the ball down the field.
Here's Kempf. He's going to look over the middle. Throws. Caught by Hakeem Butler. Dragging players down to the 12. The Butler made me do it. And they have to get down and try to get this thing spiked. Now the clock is going to stop because it's the first down.
Now they have to spike it.
56-yard pass play by Iowa State.
Well, what you see from Iowa State outside is they have a bunch of big receivers. Lazard is 6'5". Hakeem Butler is 6'6". He's the guy that's been the most responsible for the critical plays so far this season. 3rd down conversions, 4th down conversions, and what do they do? When you have a 6'6" receiver, you're outmatched against the defender. Throw it up high for him to go and get it. Big, huge chunk play for Iowa State.
Alan Lazard, he's at the bottom of your screen, the most decorated receiver. He has no catches so far. Over the middle. That's incomplete. He was looking for Butler.
So they go right back to the well to try to get Butler again. High point in the ball. They'll come right in the middle of the screen. It's an easy throw for a quarterback in the middle of the field. Just floats it too high, and now the field goal unit comes out.
Here comes Garrett Owens. This will be from 32 yards out. That's good. He's 2 for 2 on the day. So the Cyclones get some points. We will go Into the half with the score. OU 24, Iowa State 13. Welcome back inside a broadcast booth here in Norman as the third-ranked Sooners up 11 over Iowa State 24-13 as we begin the second half. And listen, Baker Mayfield and that offense have scored on every possession they've had except for one. But give the Cyclones some credit. Without their starting quarterback, they've hung in there.
Yeah, I got to give them a lot of credit defensively. They're making Oklahoma earn every single score. Yes, they are scoring. They're putting up points, but their defense is playing a great zone package. They're making them earn everything they've got. And then offensively for Iowa State, David Montgomery has done a tremendous job of catching the ball in the backfield, keeping this offense and this team in it. They're going to get the ball here in the second half with the ability to close in on this 11-point lead for the Sooners. As we take a look at the Geico first half stats here, again, you can see the production from Oklahoma. I think that's a little misleading. Yes, they've got over 300 yards in just one half, but the defense for Iowa State has played well enough to keep them in the game.
Austin Seibert will kick things away for Oklahoma. Landon Akers standing back at his own goal line. We begin the second half here in Norman. Let's go down to the sideline. Jim Hale.
Well, Brian, Coach Matt Campbell tells me he is thrilled with the poise and command Kyle Kempf is showing. This coaching staff checked in also with Joel Lanning at halftime to see if the workload is too much, and Lanning says he's fine, so you can expect to see more of those two alternating at the quarterback position in this second half. Meanwhile, Lincoln Riley spent his halftime trying to strategize a few defensive adjustments, different strategies depending on whether it's Kempf or Lanning, in an effort to control this game even more, Brian.
All right, Jen, thank you. Of course, in case you missed it, Jacob Park, the starting quarterback for Iowa State, didn't make the trip. He's taking a leave of absence from the team. Kyle Kempf, redshirt senior. This is a walk-on at the start. That pass is complete, and the first catch of the day from Alan Lazard. Take a look at the first half leaders. Kyle Kempf for 131. David Montgomery, boatload of work. How about Trevor Ryan now? As he crosses midfield, he's in Sooner territory, and all of a sudden, they're going with tempo, and here come the Cyclones.
Yeah, they're going with tempo, a lot of energy. What they needed to do all the way back from last year was throwing on first down with success. They did that 9 yards to Lazard, and then great blocking just on the horizontal screen out to the outside by the receivers to really open that thing up for Ryan.
1st and 10 now. Montgomery with a block from Sam Buckner. Will Johnson makes the tackle.
Well, that's what you can do with this offense. It's still going to be predicated on the run. Watch Julian Good-Jones, the center. Not very often you see centers pulling. He does such a good job of getting around that edge, getting into the hole, and you see the patience from Montgomery just to wait for that block to get set up, and he cuts right off his hip.
It's Montgomery, right side. He's dropped at the 19.
All that shifting and motioning by Iowa State pre-snap is just, it's two things. It's to get the defense to show what they're playing defensively, maybe the man or zone. And then after that, it's a little bit of distraction for the linebackers, trying to mess with their keys and mess with their eyes as the offense sets up to run their play.
2nd and 7. That's Montgomery. They fake it to him. Link keeps it right side. Maybe a yard. Neville Gallimore gobbles him up, makes the stop. 3rd down. 3rd and 6. Iowa State 2 for 7 on 3rd down. Kempf from the gun. Over the middle, pressure, and sack. First sack of the afternoon for the Sooners. Here's Obo leading the charge.
Well, it's the first time they've had direct pressure. You're going to see right here off the side, the left side. It's Okoronkwo once again with just that inside long arm. That's sort of his specialty with power, able to flip his hips with speed and get to the quarterback. The defense needs to stop. Oftentimes you're going to see number 31, Okoronkwo, in there.
He's the Big 12 sack leader from 42 yards out, Garrett Owens. That is money. And the Cyclones just keep chipping away here. Cyclones going 50 yards, 11 plays. Take 5 minutes, 15 seconds off the clock, and all of a sudden they're down just 8. Francis will kick it away. And it's a touchback. Split backs. Mayfield. Pitch and catch, Jordan Smallwood. Dragon defenders. Brought down finally at the 34. Everett Edwards. Finally bringing him down.
And a great strong throw from the right hash all the way across the field with velocity. And this time Iowa State plays a soft little zone. Small would recognize that, sits down, and makes some yards after catch.
8th Sooner with a catch. This is Sermon. Mari Cotton-Moya. It's the stop.
And Oklahoma's ability with their big offensive line on those double teams, getting up to the linebackers, that's what's really springing this run game here for Oklahoma.
This is Sermon. He's brought down at the 4. Rose landing with the stop.
Well, as we talked about, it really hasn't been sort of the explosive play for Oklahoma. That's what they like to do. That's their MO. One of the most explosive offenses in the country. But they're okay relying on their offensive front just to sort of grind out these longer drives and put themselves in a position to score again.
You got split backs. Sermon and Flowers. Sermon, the handoff fumble. It's almost a read option, and it looked like Mayfield wanted to give it to him and then tried to pull it back. Iowa State says they have it. And that's a big turnover for the Sooners. And a big play for the Cyclone defense.
Well, no question, a huge play. You'll see on the exchange with Sermon, it looks like Baker wants to pull that thing out.
And guess who recovers it?
And it looks like Joel Lanning,
Mr. Do Everything.
Mr. Do Everything. Played a little quarterback today, played a lot of linebacker today. Comes in there and gets the fumble. What a gigantic turn of events here for Iowa State.
You know, the interesting thing was talking with Matt Campbell, head coach of Iowa State. He said when Park took over the starting position last year, they started thinking, how can we keep Lanning on the field? Because they knew he was one of their best players. They approached him with the idea of playing defense, and he said he embraced it. He said, listen, whatever I can do to stay on the field for this football team, I'm going to do it.
And really, he said his attitude is really what was the catalyst of just creating a new culture on defense. Sort of, I'll do whatever it takes to help this team.
And it's Montgomery again, and he barely gets out of the end zone.
And it was Devonta Lampkin who gets in there on right at the goal line. And he just about had a safety, but Montgomery slippery just enough to get out of there and creep out, get back to the 2-yard line. Again, 2nd and 14 now for Iowa State, backed up against their own end zone.
Inside 5 minutes left here in the 3rd. Cyclones in their own end zone. And that is incomplete. Alan Lazard.
Well, it was a long throw and a little mistimed. He started on the left hash, has to throw all the way to the right side of the field on a stop route. And the problem was Lazard had already stopped. He completed his route. Then the ball comes out and allows Motley to sort of recover in coverage and make a play on the ball.
Cyclones are 2 for 8 on 3rd down. 3rd and 14 from their own 2. And he's looking deep. Pitch and catch. Alan Lazard, the best receiver, comes up with the big play.
He may have gotten away with a little bit of a push off. Saw the arms extend a little bit in the man-to-man coverage against Jordan Thomas. He's singled up on the left side.
35 yards. This is Deshaunte Jones. Still churning the legs.
Pass is complete to Deshaunte
That's a big play for the Cyclones to get off basically away from their own end zone.
We'll go back to that play by Lazard. A little bit of a push off right at the very top of that route, but just not enough for them to call it when they need a play to go after one of the most productive receivers in Iowa State history, going against Jordan Thomas, who had a rough game against Baylor 2 weeks ago.
Kemp keeping it left side. He slides. He's got a 1st down. He's in Sooner territory.
Don't you just love the fight?
Oh, you got to.
And the grit of this Iowa State team.
You got to. Starting quarterback doesn't make the trip. Takes a leave of absence. You start your 3rd stringer. And here they are, going tooth for nail with the 3rd-ranked team in the country. That was intended for Hakeem Butler. We got a flag. They're going to call this on the defense.
Pass interference. Defense, number 7. Automatic 1st down.
Well, you hear all the Oklahoma coaches on the sidelines. The double move. And I don't see it either. I understand why they're upset. I don't think he impeded his route by any means. He even tried to turn and make a play on the ball. I think Iowa State got a little lucky with that call.
Keep in mind, at one point, Cyclones are looking at 3rd and 14 from their own 2. This is Montgomery. Shake slithers his way for a couple.
I just love his ability, David Montgomery, as a way to always be getting upfield. He's conscious even when he's sidestepping somebody. It's not lateral for very long. Always has the determination to get vertically up the field, even when a play is breaking down.
He's a sophomore out of Cincinnati. 2nd and 6. Marching Murdoch in motion. He's got the football now. Across the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Iowa State. And the Cyclones have cut the lead to 2, and they're going to go for 2.
And again, you need blocks on the outside. And you're going to see the key block right there by Deshaunte Jones, chopping his defender down, and then you just see the speed from Marching Murdoch to get the ball in the end zone.
He's the redshirt senior out of Arlington, Texas, transferred from Illinois. And the Cyclones are going to go for 2 here. Down 2. That's Murdoch again in motion. Kemp looks left, throws, and caught. Alan Lazard, and we've got a tie ball game here in the 3rd quarter.
And they get all that motion with Murdoch in the front to sort of distract everybody on defense, and they get the singled up one-on-one Lazard on the quick little comeback. And boy, oh boy, we have a game here in Norman. Archie Murdoch takes it in for the score for Iowa State. Iowa State goes for 2. They get it with Alan Lazard, and it's 24-24. Matt Campbell is happy.
Well, we got a football game here in Norman as the Iowa State Cyclones go 7 plays, 94 yards, their longest drive of the season thus far, and tie up this football game. Keep in mind, at one point they had a 3rd and 14 from their own 2. Alan Lazard caught a big 35-yard catch. We're all tied up. This is Jeff Badette. Second and 3. The fake. Mayfield. He's got all day to throw it. And that's complete. Michael Jones. He's across the 40.
Michael Jones, number 3. He was tackled by Brian.
And that's okay in that situation. Again, scramble coverage is the hardest for the defense. Make sure that you take care of everything deep. Just because the quarterback is scrambling around, most quarterbacks can't make those throws deep, but Baker Mayfield is not any average quarterback. He can scramble around, he can throw it 60 yards on the run, so take care of the deep ball, allow those short underneath balls to be caught, rally up and make the play, and live to play another down.
Under a minute here in the 3rd quarter. Here comes Sherman, tripped up as he crosses the 40. We talked about the big play ability of this OU offense, but so far just 3 plays of 20 yards or more down the field by Baker Mayfield. Where you look at Iowa State, they've got 6 of them already.
We never would have thought that, especially Oklahoma's offense going against a 3rd-string quarterback in Iowa State, that they're going to get outplayed when it comes to explosives.
Here's Sherman down the sideline, pushed out of bounds at the 31.
And that's really been the bread and butter for Oklahoma on offense, is their ability to get their running backs and their fullbacks with Dimitri Flowers out of the backfield and throwing to them, as we see Trey Sermon right there on the receiving end of that pass.
Just like that, Sooners, Cyclone territory. Here's Sermon again. Lanning holds on. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. We are all tied up. 24 all. Fox College football continues from Norman right after this. Come to the crucial 4th quarter. All tied up here in Norman. 2nd and 3 for the Sooners. Mayfield keeps it. Marcel Spears.
Tackled by Marcel Spears.
We are in Norman, Oklahoma Memorial Stadium. Brian Custer alongside Ben Lieber, Jen Hale roaming the sidelines for us. 3rd-ranked Sooners. They have won 18 straight against Iowa State. Longest active winning streak against an opponent. 3rd and 3. Sermon. Reverses field. Upended. Brian Peavy. And you know, Ben, as we take another look here at this stop, we saw something in the 3rd quarter that we haven't seen in a while, and that's OU didn't score a point. It's only the 2nd time this season they've been held scoreless in a quarter. Last time a month ago in Columbus against the Buckeyes.
Well, like I said, Iowa State's defense is allowing sort of the short underneath passes. They've got a bunch of team speed, especially at corner and safety. They're coming up and making those plays and making Oklahoma earn it. That time right there, great job by Spencer Benton on the outside, containing that play.
Here's Cyber from 44 yards, 45 yards out, and he missed it. It stayed right, and the momentum stays with the Cyclones.
Boy, just like we could feel it at the end of the 1st half, Iowa State went into the locker room with a whole bunch of confidence and momentum. They get a crucial stop, and then you'll see the field goal attempt. Good snap, good hold, and he just pushed it to the right. And you see the enthusiasm, the excitement on the sidelines for Iowa State. They still have a long way to go right now still to win this game.
There is 80,000 plus here at Memorial Stadium. And they've got to ratchet up the noise because Kyle Kempf so far has outplayed Baker Mayfield in the statistics department. Quick out to Trevor Ryan. Ryan cross midfield, down the sideline, 40. Trevor Ryan may go all the way. Touchdown, Iowa State. 57 yards by Trevor Ryan, and the Cyclones have shocked Memorial Stadium.
Well, the story all game long for Iowa State on those horizontal passes has been the blocking ability of the receivers. This time it's going to be Alan Lazard on the outside, matched up against Motley, and look how he just turns his shoulders and creates that edge for Ryan to hit. They have blocked so well on the outside, and conversely, the Oklahoma secondary has done not a very good job of getting off those blocks, of being physical, and getting out physical by the receivers for Iowa State, and it's turning into huge plays.
Here comes Garrett Owens for the point after. Iowa State has scored the last 21 points, and they now lead third-ranked Oklahoma 31-24 thanks to the senior Trevor Ryan. Cyclones up 7 here in the fourth. 2 plays, 73 yards. Iowa State scores, and now they're up 7. It's Chris Francis. Kick it away for the Cyclones. Jeff Baudet. Now, 37-year-old Matt Campbell trying to knock off 34-year-old Lincoln Riley Sooners. 1st and 10 for Baker Mayfield. That pass is complete with Dimitri Flowers. Kamari Cotton-Moyes right there and brings him down.
Well, that's a matchup that Oklahoma likes all day long. It's getting Flowers out of the backfield. Really their most successful and consistent plays is getting Flowers to kind of leak out, get matched up against a linebacker or safety, and he's winning those matchups all game long.
Mayfield, the fake, he'll keep it. He goes down at the 43. You know, OU led 14-0. About 5 minutes left in the first quarter, but since that time, 41-10, the opposite way by Iowa State. They have put the points on the board consistently. Second and 5 now for Mayfield. And he's going up top. Across the middle. It's complete. That's Andrews. And the big tight end.
Well, what they do here is it's that little pump that gets the seam defender to go out to the flat thinking it's going to be another one of those outside quick passes. And then Andrews, as the #1 receiver, sort of sneaks in behind that little void, and Baker Mayfield finds him.
3 catches for 50 yards now. 9 minutes left in this game. Mayfield. Again, all the time in the world. Rolls left. Scrambles. Under pressure. Lanning, the sack. Joel Lanning has done it all. Played quarterback, recovered fumbles, made tackles, and now records a sack.
Well, he is a fun player to watch. A former quarterback learning the nuances of just playing linebacker. He has the tenacity and the mindset for it. Look at him just staying alive, even slips and falls. Tremendous job in the back end for the Cyclone defense of just clamping down on all those routes.
7th tackle of the afternoon for Lanning. Here's 2nd and 20 now for Baker Mayfield. That's complete. That's a seam. Dimitri Flowers. It was zip on that one.
A lot of zip on that ball. Again, when they need a big-time play, it seems like they're going to the unlikely hero in the fullback H-back and Dimitri Flowers at 6'3", 247. You wouldn't think that he'd be the big playmaker, but he has been so far in this game.
3rd and 4. Now for the Sooners. Andrews, the tight end, in the slot. That's Sermon. 1 second on the play clock. And it's Sermon up the middle. Breaks a tackle. Down at the 1. Reggie Wilkerson saving a touchdown for the Cyclones.
Well, I love the chess match on defense. They pre-shift to one side. Oklahoma recognizes it, moves the running back over. They shift back, and then it was just the pulling guards and the patience from Sermon to pick up that first down.
.86 yards of rushing. Now for Sermon. Dimitri Flowers gets it, and touchdown Sooners. Who else? He's made all the big catches for you.
He's made all the big catches, that big 2nd and long situation. Flowers streaking across the middle of the field, puts him in 3rd and manageable. Then it's Sermon that picks up the big-time 3rd down, and then you hand the ball back off to your big, bruising utility guy to punch this thing in and hopefully tie the game.
The extra point is good, and we're all knotted up at 31, thanks to Dimitri Flowers. He pounds one in from a yard out. We're all tied up at 31 here in Norman. Austin Seibert kicked things away. Landon Akers standing at his own goal line. We are all tied up at 31 here in the 4th quarter. And it's 1st and 10 from the 42. And Montgomery tries to cut it back. Okoronkwo is right there.
That time Okoronkwo does a good job of just staying home on the backside. He understands he doesn't have to run all the way play side to make any plays. He's got to trust his defenders to turn it back to him. He does a good job folding back, filling that hole nicely.
5 minutes, 30 seconds now left in this game. 2nd and 9. OU shows pressure. Steps out. That's complete. Marchie Murdoch. Murdoch scored a huge 28-yard touchdown catch earlier.
They're going to keep tacking Jordan Thomas, number 7. He's had a couple crucial penalties in this game. Had a rough game against Baylor as he gave up a bunch of big plays down the field. It seems like the MO for this Iowa State offense is to keep attacking number 7.
We have come under 5 minutes now left. Montgomery cuts back, running hard, brought down at the 37 by Jordan Thomas.
They love this little fold scheme by the center to get an extra blocker in the hole. He picks up a good block, and then all of a sudden it's just David Montgomery doing what he does best, making people miss. And you get Joel Lanning checking back into this game. Remember, running quarterback in these situations.
Here comes Lanning. He's going to keep it. Left side. Cuts back. 30. And brought down. And at the 27, Will Johnson makes the stop.
And then you're going to have Montgomery, number 32, as the lead blocker on this one. He does a good job of setting up that block and cutting off his hip. Lanning doing everything in this football game, just willing it on offense and defense to try to come into Norman and pull off a huge upset.
Lanning remains in at quarterback. Montgomery. Shane Buckner in motion. Lanning left side. powers forward for a couple.
And for as much as we talk about Oklahoma offensively being built with strength and brawn up front, their defense is a little bit of the opposite. They're a little lighter, they're a little faster. You can see right now that Iowa State's offensive line is imposing their will and creating a new line of scrimmage and just pushing this defense back.
Kemp, senior walk-on from the same hometown as his head coach, Matt Campbell. This is Montgomery, and Devontae Lampkin just blew that play up.
Well, this time, Lampkin doesn't miss. He had an opportunity when Iowa State was backed up against their own end zone after the Joel Lanning fumble recovery. He had Montgomery in the backfield for potential safety. Montgomery wiggled out of it. In this particular play, he shoots through the line and gets the sure tackle.
Here's the crucial 3rd and 8. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left in this football game.
Oklahoma's manned up on the outside.
Sooners bring pressure. Kemp going up top for Lazard. It's caught. Touchdown, Iowa State. Alan Lazard, the Cyclones' career leader in catches, comes up with probably the biggest of his career.
They go man up on the outside. He's the #1 receiver against Jordan Thomas, and he beats him right off the line, and then he uses his big frame and big size and the body control to turn around and get that touchdown. What an unbelievable drive, and again, poised by Iowa State and Kyle Kempf to put them up over Oklahoma late in this game.
4th touchdown catch of the season for Alan Lazard. Garrett Owens with the extra point. It's good. They are up 7. Just 2:19 left to play. Kemp to Lazard. That's 6. And look at Kemp. How about this? Cyclones, most points against OU since '89 by a Cyclone squad. Chris Francis kicks things away. Back of the end zone.
You know what I love is that shot that we just had of Kyle Kempf on the sidelines. Biggest game of his career, and he just is calm, collected, he's cool, not a whole lot of emotion, neither high or low.
Keep in mind, going into this game, he was just 2 for 2 for 15 yards, and that was last season. He had played in one game, didn't attempt to pass against Akron this year, but he's 18 of 24 for 343, 3 TDs. Well, and he's never really been the guy anywhere he's been. He started at Oregon State, didn't get a lot of playing time, goes to Hutchinson Community College, didn't get a lot of playing time at Hutch Community College, and then he goes to Iowa State, and here he's playing the biggest game of his life and leading his Iowa State team to a potential upset of the #3 ranked team in the country. And here comes Baker Mayfield, complete to Jordan Smallwood. And Baker Mayfield, these are the games where you earn that Heisman Trophy.
Oh, absolutely. These are the situations where you lean on your emotional leader, your best playmaker to lead you down the field and get yourself back into this game.
Under 2 minutes. Sermon, the handoff. Lanning grabbed his legs, but Sermon still with the legs churning, powers his way to about the 40. Oklahoma, they've got 2 timeouts left, so does Iowa State.
40-yard line brings up 2nd and 6.
Mayfield looking right, underneath. There's Lanning with the stop.
Pass is complete to Sermon. Tackled by Joel Lanning.
Well, again, Iowa State's defense can take the philosophy of only rushing 3 guys. Understand they're not going to get a lot of pass rush, but they have to come up and make the plays on the short and underneath passes.
Baker Mayfield has thrown for over 300 yards. 4th time this season. underneath and out of the hands
That is incomplete.
of Marquise Brown. One of those crossing routes.
It was a crossing route that was going to be set up like a screen pass. As you see Sermon number 4 go up, his primary target was to block on that play. The ball slightly behind him, but Marquise Brown has to make that play.
4th and 4 for the Sooners. Minute 27. This could be the play of the game. Mayfield looking. Plenty of time. Flushed. Over the middle. Incomplete.
And it doesn't matter. 4th down, it doesn't matter. Iowa State's defense, they've been locked down the whole game in the back end. Joel Lanning on the spy. Watch him in the middle of the screen to spy the quarterback. He's the one that sort of chases down Baker, makes him throw the ball.
Who's your dad? Who's your dad?
And Iowa State's defense comes up huge.
Look at the reaction from the Cyclones sideline as they know they are on the verge of the upset so far of the season as the disappointed Baker Mayfield looks on. In fact, the last time Cyclones have knocked off a top 5 team, you got to go back to November 18 of 2011 when they knocked off Oklahoma State. But Matt Campbell has brought his Cyclone squad in here without their starting quarterback. Went to the 3rd string quarterback as their starter. They're going to win here for the first time in 27 years as we look at the Sooners. Upcoming date, they're coming off a bye. They've got the Red River rivalry next week against Texas. Were they looking ahead, you think?
Well, you know, we asked Lincoln Riley that, and he said he sort of scoffed and said, no, we haven't even talked about that game, and nobody's talked about that game. They came out hot. Their offense was hot, but you have to think that they're in the back of their mind, they were thinking about Texas next week. Iowa State, the signature upset win from Matt Campbell in the staff.
What a signature win from Matt Campbell and Iowa State. And how about this? The Cyclones pulling off a Sooner trick as they have their flag and they plant it in the field here in Norman.
What a coaching job that Matt Campbell and his staff had done to lose your starting quarterback. He's sitting at home right now, and you come in with sort of a 2-quarterback system with Joel Lanning, the linebacker, former quarterback, and Kyle Kempf, the redshirt senior walk-on quarterback, leads his team to victory here in Norman.
It's been 27 years since Iowa State has gotten a victory here, and Matt Campbell brings his Cyclones in here. He's with our Jen Hale.
And he is one excited guy. Coach, congratulations. You come into hostile territory not having won in this series in 18 years. How did you pull this off with a guy playing both ways and a 3rd-string quarterback?
Well, I don't think he's a 3rd-string quarterback anymore. You know, I think really what the fact, we've been in a lot of close games this year, you know, and we're such a young team, and we're building our program, and we're trying to really get this program to a national status. And I think in the growth process, you have to learn, and we're so young, and we continue to learn and grow, and just really proud of our kids. We've got really good seniors, and we've really never wavered. Even over the last 2 tough losses we've had, they've been really close, but our kids they've deserved it.
Joel Lanning played quarterback for you last season, switched to middle linebacker. He did everything today, a multi-purpose player having success everywhere. How does he do it?
Well, I think it tells you the heart of Joel Lanning. You know, he's one of the, to be honest, he's one of the most special kids I've ever coached. And, you know, Joel, bad coaching last year. I probably didn't have him on the field as enough as I should have. And, you know, at the end of the season, I asked him to make a great sacrifice for the team. And 90% of those kids transfer and go somewhere else and play quarterback. But he said, Coach, I just want to be great at Iowa State, and I want to finish this thing out the right way. And you look what he did today, really special.
It's such a great story. Congratulations. Hope you enjoy this one.
Yeah, we will. Thanks so much. Go Cyclones.
Brian.
Wow, what a coaching job, and what a job by that man, Kyle Kempf, to come in here and lead his Cyclones to a victory. It's been 27 years but the Cyclones get it. Thanks for watching Fox College Football from here in Norman. The final, Iowa State 38, OU 31. For Ben Lieber and Jen Hale, I'm Brian Custer saying so long from Oklahoma. Let's get you to Los Angeles for more college football.